Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. It's very true that my job is full of risks, full of highs and lows, and it's a very challenging job. We don't have a fixed time schedule. We don't have fixed working hours, and most of the times I'm dealing with the worst people of the society, the most notorious criminals that you would never want to see. I deal with them every day. So it is definitely difficult, but it is also very rewarding because people come to us when they are in their lowest state. All the victims, they come to us hoping that we are some superpower who will, erase all their problems, solve everything for them, and then, give them justice. So that path, when we decide to give them justice, it is difficult. We have to risk it. So many times our raids are not successful. So many times in the VRs we are running behind criminals, and we sometimes lose them. But on the other hand, there are times where we are able to arrest them, when we are able to have a successful raid. So those after effects, when we get that success and we get that recognition and we are able to give that justice to that family or that victim, then that makes up for all the failed attempts. So I think, being positive helps you to manage risks. If you are positive and if you're working in the right direction, even if you fail once, you're bound to succeed the second time or the third time. And I think our training plays a huge role in us being able to manage risks. Our training is a very strenuous 1.5 year training where we are taught all kinds of life skills, including swimming, horse riding. We have 40-kilometer route marches, 16-kilometer cross-country runs, and we have equal criteria for men and women. There is maybe like if they are supposed to do it in 6 hours, then we are given half an hour extra to finish the same task. So that's the only difference. So for us as police officers, gender is never a concern. We never think ourselves as women officers. We always consider ourselves as police officers. So the amount of risk that my male colleague will take, I will take the same, because we have been given that equal training, we have been given that equal opportunity, and we've been exposed to equal situations. So I think that helps us in risk taking, and because we have that mindset where we train so hard that we can do anything and everything, then that just makes things easier for us. So when we're talking about all of this, I agree with what most of the ladies have said here, but there are certain things that I would like us all to consider. For us, it is very easy to say that, after children, we want to work, we want to work at the same pace, and we want the father to also take care. But when I look at the lower rungs of the society where women are working as domestic helpers or maids, it's not just that they are working, it's just they are the primary caregivers. It's just that the men there, they're not ready to take any responsibility. Like when I say this, what I mean is that that lady, she's sweeping the house all day, she's feeding her baby, she's going back while the husband is just getting drunk and beating her. So the change will start with us when we teach our sons how to behave, how to take responsibility, and how a certain job is not a woman's job, it's everyone's job. How, when we teach our son that cooking is a life skill, it's not a skill that a woman is supposed to have, it's a life skill. All of us should know it, including women. So I can tell from my personal story that I always hated kitchens. When my mom told me that, you're of the age you should learn to cook, I was like, no, I want to study, I want to work, I will hire someone to cook for me. I don't want to cook. And head fast to the training where we're supposed to be in the jungle for a week. We're supposed to cook our own food on the chula. I was struggling to cook even a basic khichdi. So I'm just saying that we need to change that from school level. When we should not discriminate between children based on their gender when it comes to education, when it comes to basic life skills. One second, we need to provide support systems, I think. So when a woman, she comes back from maternity leave, we should have a good creche facility, we should have a good pumping facility, we should have good nanny support system, we should have good support system. Only then we can have women entrepreneurs or women working. Secondly, we have to share the load. You know, like women can't do everything and anything. You cannot glorify women as being a super woman and doing, managing house also, managing kids also. In all this, then she loses herself, and then there's burnout and she takes a break. Also, we should normalize taking breaks, be it in entrepreneurship or anywhere else. If woman has given birth and then she wants to raise her child for 2 3 years and then come back to the workforce, then she should be taken with open arms. She should not be discriminated. So when we go into these micro level changes and we give women equal opportunity, we condition our children like that. Like, for example, me and my husband, we are both IPS officers. We both go to the office in the same time, sometimes we come back in the same time and all of that. But at the end of the day, when I had my baby, the feeding was my job. He could not feed him for me. He could change diapers, he could burp, but feeding was my job. But then the reason why I could be on field or work on field was because I had very supportive seniors who understood that I cannot work the same amount of hours as my male colleague when I have just given birth. So they gave me that space. They gave me that space where I could take an off for my vaccination of my child. And they gave me that space when I had to go home early some days because my child was cranky. So when we give women that space, when we consider their biological clock, when we consider their, physical limitations, then we'll have more women come out. Because it can never be equal for men and women. That is not how our bodies are made. But there can be equity. There can be equal opportunities, there can be equal support systems, and most important is social conditioning. When we teach our sons and daughters that, you have equal access, you have these jobs, you should not be taking everyone's job on your head. That is my message to all the daughters. And to sons, you should please share load. Please, we have such wonderful advertisements also today, which talk about this, like how men, when they're roommates, they share loads, but when they become husband wives, they don't share load. So I think when we start sharing load, then women will walk head to head and toe to toe with all others, and we'll stop having these conversations, just like the lady said. So I think we've had so many inspirations everywhere, now Smriti Mandhana in cricket, Kiran Bedi madam in IPS, Kalpana Chawla in space. But for me personally, always one woman that I've looked up to, who supported me in my journey, who inspires me to invest, to do better, to take care of myself, is my mother. Because I think she's the one who taught me that I need to put myself first, and she's the one who educated me, took out time for me, and did all that so that I can stay here. So I think she's my inspiration.